Mrs. Rifkatu Lami Yisa, Assistant Director, Vice Principal Administration, Nigerian Korea Model School, Piwe, Abuja. I'm here to give a presentation on the topic, Quality Assurance and Assessment of Teaching and Learning. And under it, we have the topic, we have the table of content, but the topic first. As I said, the topic is quality assurance and assessment of the teaching and learning. And under it, we have the table of contents because the topic has to be broken down into some segments. And under it, we have the introduction, we have the quality assurance of teaching staff. Under it, we have 1 and 2, the role of administrators, staff qualifications, assessment, teaching and learning. We have lesson plan, lesson delivery, in terms of methodology, and we have the objectives of quality assurance, importance of assessment on teaching and learning, and then we have the conclusion. And under the introduction, when we talk about quality assurance, what are we talking about? We are talking about a way of preventing mistakes and low performance of any good-oriented practice, especially in education. Because when you talk about quality and the assurance, you are talking about something you can stand authoritatively to define, to explain, to determine its positive impact. It enables the management to identify, analyze, and plan for improvement in teaching and learning strategies. Quality assurance is based on the principle that every aspect of teaching and learning process of a school can be improved continuously, both general evaluation and self-evaluation, both internally and externally. It is always constructive, formative, rather than judgmental. Why we say judgmental? When you talk about quality assurance, you are not carrying it out in order to judge or to condemn either the teacher or the learner, but it is to help you have a very summative result. So it is evaluative, it is descriptive, and its evidence is based on data driven from reference sources. Now we talk about the role of administrators. The administrators have their different functions and responsibility. The administrators of a school, starting from the principal, the vice principal administration, the vice principal academics, they play a very vital role in ensuring that quality assurance is ensured for the success of the students' well-being, teaching and learning, as well as academic performances are all taken care of by all the administrators. Now when we talk about the staff qualification, what do I mean by staff qualification? In a school setting, you cannot just pick anybody from the road and bring him in or bring her in and say go into the class and start teaching. Teaching and learning is a process. It has its own ingredients. And one of the ingredients is the qualification of a staff. How qualified are the staff in a school in running education? In Nigerian Korea Model School, I can tell you that the least staff is an NC holder, that's Nigerian Certificate in Education, and they have been encouraged by the principal of the school to go in for their degree and so on. If not, majority are BEd, that is first degree holders. Assessment of teaching and learning. When we talk about assessment of teaching and learning, what are those things that are used to assess teaching and learning? On the teacher's side or the staff side, the Lesson plan is the heartbeat. Lesson plan is the heartbeat of the teacher and of the school. In assessments of teaching and learning, the lesson plan must be well designed. It must be well written. It must have all the substances that are expected in disseminating knowledge to the children. And under that, we have different subject teachers: English, mathematics, basic science, home economics, French, you can name them. They prepare their lessons and are vetted and endorsed by their head of department, so that to show that yes, what he or she have written is ready and is of quality to be delivered. Then we talk about the lesson delivery. Yes, it is not enough for you as a teacher to have just the lesson plan. I can write a very beautiful lesson plan, a very well-detailed lesson plan. But now when it comes to the practical aspect of lesson delivery, how do you bring it to be result-oriented? In lesson delivery, we're talking about the different methodology. Different methodology. So, and when we talk about different methodology, we're talking about the different forms and different types of lesson delivery. Is it lecture method? Is it demonstration method? Is it role playing? Is it practical? So on and so forth. Depending on the topic that you have at that particular time determines the method to adopt. And in a particular lesson, 2 or 3 can be adopted for you to have an effective learning result. Conscious efforts are made by ensuring that learners are carried along, because the essence of teaching and learning is for learners. So if you carry out your lesson plan and lesson delivery and you do not consider the children, you have not made any headway. Tools that are used for learning are the curriculum and scheme of work. The objective of quality assurance, self-assessment, enables the teacher to identify strengths and weaknesses, thereby giving room for improvement and to also profile solutions. Because when you find out that you have your strengths and you have your weaknesses, you will know how to handle every challenges that come your way. Quality assurance is a collaborative exercise. It is a consensus on goals, objectives, and intended outcomes. When we say collaborative, it is not meant for one person. The learners are involved, the staff are involved, the administrators are involved in order to ensure good outcomes. It also includes standard related to outcome of performance of teaching, learning, and assessment. Quality assurance also helps students' evaluation of teaching and personal evaluation of their performance. Once lessons are delivered and the method used are appropriate, the student on their own evaluate themselves. The teacher himself evaluates himself. And at the end of the day, they know whether they are improving or they are not making headway. What are the importance of assessment on teaching and learning? You know, whatever we do, we have their advantages and disadvantages. But in this regard, we are talking about the good side of why quality assurance should be carried out. One, it is the key component of learning because it helps students to learn. Assessment of teaching and learning helps to motivate students. It also helps the teacher assess their ability. It motivates the student because once the child is interested in your subject, is interested in your own integrity, how you carry yourself when you are in the class, how you carry them along, you know, it gives them some sense of belonging. And it spurs them to pay more attention when you are in the class to deliver your lesson. It also determines whether the goals of education are met and achieved. It is through the assessment of teaching and learning, with the help of quality assurance, that we're able to deduce if educational goals are being met, are being achieved, or they are being hindered as a result of one weakness or one challenges or obstacles that are faced. Assessment affects decisions about grades, placements, advancement, instructional rates, curriculum, and sometimes funding. It is through the assessment of teaching and learning you are able to know which areas need more funding academically. Maybe in terms of resources that are being used, maybe in terms of practicals, if chemicals are not available, if equipment are not available, and the assessment has been carried out and the teacher passed the message across, the principal can decide and say, okay, this and this are needed, let's cost it, and we get started there. Curriculum are also being checked. Year out, year in, there are specific periods that curriculum are being reviewed. You can see that topics that were in 10 years ago are no longer included in the present one, because every day, just as we say, life is dynamic. Things keep changing day by day. Students must be able to think critically and analyze. You know, once you assess your teaching and learning, it means that students who are involved and they think critically and analyze and make inferences. They are able to bring out things from within their own thinking, and it affects them as they progress. Assessment also helps the teacher in helping students reach the course objective. What is the course objective? So that at the end of the school year, the child is settled, the child is established, the child is having one thing or the other, all to the glory of God and the efforts of the school. It also leads students self-evaluation, helping them to work more harder, improving the quality and level of their performance. Yes, assessment and teaching, like now we say, those that have not copied, they are not complete, they should bring out their names. You know, by the time you call them out and you encourage them and you advise them and you tell them the importance of why they should copy their notes so that they will have something to read for exams and to pass very well. It helps teachers to assess the performance of the student, whether real learning has taken place, within their strengths and weaknesses are also identified. Assessment helps to develop feedback. It gives us feedback, because if you don't assess, you won't be able to get any feedback, isn't it? So by the time you disseminate, you find out, you evaluate yourself, you evaluate the learners. It will help you to get the feedback, whether positive or negative, and you take it on from there. In conclusion, quality assurance and assessment of teaching and learning cannot be overemphasized. Hence, they are the key components that determine the success or failure of both the teacher and the learners. It is recommended that at intervals, in-house inspections of both teachers and learners' work should be checked to help discover strengths and weaknesses of both parties. Thank you.